We've had our fair share of very active weather across the United States and southern Canada over the past couple of weeks, with very heavy rainfall causing significant flash flooding, severe weather causing anything from damaging winds to large hail and tornadoes. It's been very active. So if you are here, make sure to like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, family member, and on social media, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel as we do straightforward weather forecasts, no hype, reliable and accurate weather information here at Weather on the Go. And we're going to be talking about more active weather, including the threat for severe weather and flooding over the next few days, a pattern change into the middle of next week, promising cooler temperatures for some, heat for others, and your tropical weather update here at the end. Let's look at our severe weather threat for today. On your Saturday, July 12th, we have a scattered threat for severe weather in yellow, including the Detroit metropolitan area, Toledo, Dayton, all the way down to Cincinnati, and then right along the Ohio River there from Louisville to Evansville and even into Carbondale, Illinois, and Paducah, Kentucky. We're keeping a very close eye on that. In the dark green surrounding that, down here in the parts of the Tennessee Valley southeast, and then stretching towards Texas, New Mexico, and Colorado in dark green, that's a marginal risk of severe weather where isolated thunderstorms will be possible. The main threats are going to be, no surprise, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, especially where you see yellow here, but even in the brown, still possible. As we go through the afternoon and evening, the hail threat is going to be limited today just because a lot of that heat is suppressing hail growth, but we could still see some quarter-size hailstones up here around the central Great Lakes and back into the southwestern plains. And then we're looking at a very low tornado risk, 2% up here into the thumb of northeastern Michigan. So looking here at the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley vicinity first. Here at noon, we're seeing a couple of showers, a couple thunderstorms up there in the UP of Michigan and northern lower Michigan. A couple thunderstorms in southeastern Missouri as well. As we go through the afternoon, that's what we're going to see is those scattered pop-up thunderstorms, the type that not everybody sees, but we definitely could be seeing localized torrential downpours, some damaging winds, large hail, and an isolated tornado threat closer to the low pressure system, especially up here into the thumb of northeast Michigan. Once we lose the daytime heating this evening, we're going to see those thunderstorm coverage and intensities really start to wane as we go deeper into the evening, but especially after midnight tonight. Looking here at the southern plains, we have some showers, a couple rumbles of thunder. If you're waking up late this morning, early this afternoon in Lubbock and Midland, probably getting awoken to some rain showers and rumbles of thunder out there. Couple showers into Kansas and eastern Oklahoma as well. As we go into the afternoon, we're going to see a conglomerate of a lot of showers and thunderstorms from Oklahoma City all the way down into the western side of the DFW Metroplex, and then some storms erupting over there toward Little Rock, Shreveport, and Monroe. They'll be on an isolated coverage during the afternoon, and what we're watching is potentially a flooding risk in west central Texas as we go through overnight tonight into Sunday morning, and obviously Texas is very vulnerable to some flooding because of the saturated soils over the past couple of days and a few weeks really. And you can see west central Texas could be seeing potentially 3 to 6 inches worth of rain in a short amount of time. So that could cause some flash flooding out there in West Texas. Also watching up here and towards the Oklahoma City, Tulsa areas and toward Wichita, Kansas, that triangle of cities there could potentially be seeing those 3 to 6 inch rainfall amounts as well. And you guys know better than I do that if you're traveling through a bigger city, you've got a lot of pavement and asphalt, and that is actually going to cause that water to run off a lot faster. So that is something that could cause flash flooding in a very quick amount of time. Going into tomorrow on Sunday, July 13th, we got a marginal threat of severe weather, say from southeastern Oklahoma into central and northern Arkansas and southern Missouri, Branson, Missouri, Little Rock, Fayetteville, and Fort Smith, Ardmore, Oklahoma, you guys are all included. And then up here to the northeast, mid-Atlantic, so we're talking New York State, down through central Pennsylvania, western Maryland, into the panhandle of West Virginia and central Virginia, Richmond, Roanoke, up there towards Harrisburg, Buffalo, and Watertown, New York, just west of Albany. We're keeping an eye on some isolated strong thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening on Sunday. Here Sunday morning, waking up to a couple showers across the northeast. These will wash out, and then we'll start to see daytime heating take over, and at midday, that sunshine will heat the ground. We'll get the storm energy, and then those thunderstorms will erupt as we go into the peak daytime heating between about 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock. posing the risk for some strong wind gusts, some smaller hail, and a very low tornado risk. I'm not really worried about a tornado risk. Notice it's a line of storms. Those will wane in intensity and coverage once the daytime heating stops, once the sun goes down. And then looking here across the central plains, southern plains vicinity, as we go through Sunday, more heavy rainfall. Again, central Texas getting in on that, and we could be seeing an additional 1 to 4 inches here across Texas Hill Country here and down into South Texas. So we'll be keeping an eye on the flash flooding risk. Looking at the jet stream overall going into next week here from Monday, July 14th, all the way through the end of the week, we got a cold front starting to arrive across the upper Midwest by Wednesday, July 16th, offering not only cooler temperatures, but the clash of the air masses could bring some stronger thunderstorms. We'll show you here momentarily. Maybe another cold front later on in the week by next weekend. But here is the storm energy as we go through the week ahead. And you can see that it will be plentiful. The reservoir of instability will be far north up into the upper Midwest and central plains, and that will be daily until that cold front comes through, scouring out our storm energy and moisture for a few days before yet another cold front comes through by next weekend. So what does that mean? On Monday, isolated stronger storms across the Northeast, potentially, maybe the southern plains, keeping a very close eye on that. Nothing significant. As we go into Tuesday, we're seeing the arrival of a shortwave trough and a cold front. That basically means thunderstorms are going to be likely across the Dakotas, Montana, over into Minnesota, perhaps as far south as Nebraska. Stronger thunderstorms will be possible there on Tuesday, July 15th. Wednesday, July 16th, watching out for severe weather. Big cities, Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit, back there toward Des Moines and Kansas City and St. Louis, Indianapolis. Got to be watching out for that on Wednesday, July 16th. And then as we go into Thursday, similar areas a little bit further east, though, into the Ohio Valley down the southeast. And then by next Friday, we're going to see another cold front bringing clusters of severe weather to the upper Midwest and northern plains going towards next weekend. Going to be a very wet pattern here, still across the northern United States, where you see the greens, dark greens especially, but even the blues, that's where we see above to well above normal precipitation. Where you see the browns, that's where we're seeing near normal to slightly below normal precip for coastal Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. And then out west toward California, looking pretty dry as well through next week. Let's look at our temperature trends. We got some cooler air behind our frontal system yesterday that brought severe weather and flash flooding to parts of northern Illinois, Iowa, and into southern Wisconsin. A lot of wind reports from that. Well, we're cooling off this weekend a little bit. The humidity will go down a smidge, and then as we go into early next week, we'll warm up out ahead of that into the mid and upper 80s here across the upper Midwest, Ohio Valley, and Great Lakes. And then watch Wednesday. Look at that. The cold front comes through. Temperature anomalies could be closing in on 20 to 30 degrees below normal, and then that will continue as we go into Thursday and Friday, and then again, another cold front comes through later next week. But looking here at the midweek time frame, Wednesday the 16th into Thursday the 17th, I mean, we're talking temperatures Wednesday afternoon, barely getting above the 65 degree mark across North Dakota, actually a record cool high up there into western North Dakota. Where the heat will be on will be the southern plains into the deep south, where we're going to be baking in the 90s, triple digits as well. Same thing obviously over into the desert southwest. Look at our overnight lows into Thursday morning. We actually could be able to crack open the windows in the upper Midwest northern plains as temperatures will be in the 40s and 50s out there. And then Thursday, I mean, it couldn't get more refreshing for this. In mid-July, we're talking 60s and 70s up here, widespread from Montana and Wyoming eastward through the Dakotas, Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, into the UP of Michigan, and even northern Illinois. And then further south again, you guessed it, more heat, 90s and triple digits. Let's look here at your tropical weather update. So far, the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, not expecting any tropical cyclone activity over the next 7 days in the Atlantic, and that includes the Caribbean and the Gulf. Same thing over here in the East Pacific. Now, the East Pacic's been very active this season. Well, it's going to take a little bit of a respite as we have no tropical cyclone activity in the East Pacific Basin either over the next 7 days, which is some great news. Thank you all for watching. If you want straightforward weather forecasts that's reliable and accurate here with your information, make sure to subscribe to my channel as we'll be doing daily weather forecast breakdowns throughout the rest of July and further through the year and beyond. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, family member, and on social media. And hey, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, jot that down in the comment section down below. I answer any and all questions that you may have. We're here 24/7 all day, all night to answer all your questions. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you all in the next video.